Yo, what's up, guys? Joker here for episode 44 of TGW with Brian and Brian of BadSeedTech and Tech Yes City, of course. Little intro there that I threw together for you guys. Hopefully, you guys liked it, and hopefully, it went off without a hitch and everything is going smooth. What's going on, guys?
You shoot first, man. You're the guest.
All right, yeah, we're going to Bad Seed first. Yeah, all right, yeah, so we got Bad Seed here. You guys are probably familiar with him. I'm sure most of our viewers are probably familiar with you, but if they're not, why don't you go ahead and tell them what you do, Brian?
Oh, it's really good. I run a little tech channel on YouTube, and primarily some informational pieces, getting into some hardware reviews and that kind of stuff. Just a little boutique channel right now, trying to help the common man decide how to spend his dollars. And we've been working on a lot of peripheral reviews this week, getting ready to dethrone the Razer setup, as well as working on some other builds, build for myself and a client build as well. So we're branching out a little bit right now.
Nice. Yeah, so we got links down below for Bad Seed's channel, but so just for you guys, so we know for the foreseeable future for the show, I'll be referring to Tech Yes City traditional Brian as Brian, and Brian from BadSeedTech will just be Bad Seed. So just to keep everything on the up and up, so no one gets confused. So that's how we'll handle that. So Brian, I think you'll notice. Oh wait, is your nose giving you issues again?
I don't know why it is every Thursday I wake up. I just got a runny nose.
Dude,
I don't know what it is.
Dude, we're both wearing ties. Look at this. I've got on a snazzy tie. Look at how snazzy it is.
I actually haven't seen the video feed yet.
It's just it's tatters and rags. Tatters and rags. It is all in tatters.
There you go. You're cracking, man.
No, I was wearing it for a video earlier, and I'm kind of feeling the flow of the black tie right now with the fucking Tech Syndicate shirt. I don't know. Getting pumped up. I was working on the what's in my bag video for Lance Syndicate. It's coming out pretty fun. But
yeah, man, I got a lot going on.
Yeah, what's going on with you?
Going on in the last week, man. Just parts galore. Like, I don't stop with the. This is the thing with the used parts, man. Like, I just keep, if there's a good deal, I just snap it up. I don't hesitate. So, yeah, I do get hosed. And
home and hosed.
Yeah, of course, home and hosed. But yeah, so also the chat's saying that both me and Bad Seed are a little bit too low, so I'm gonna have to turn that up a little bit. Me, I have to turn mine up. That's weird. So I'm usually always at the same volume. I
could turn you guys up a little bit. I can adjust it. I raise it up there. They can tell us if that's good or not.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. So I built an all AMD PC, so like it's just there, like there it is there. Zip tied a cooler down, like properly. And you know the sad thing is about the zip tie cooler is it's performing really freaking well. Like, I was surprised.
Go ahead and bring your camera down a little bit. Tilt it down. Yeah.
I did the overclocks. Like last night, and wow, the temperature spread was just almost perfect. Like, it was like, I think a 3.7 gigahertz overclock, because this motherboard's pretty crap. I got it to like 3.7 at 1.4 volt on the.
Still a little bit too quiet.
Okay, well, it's the Phantom X2 4-core. And I got that to 3.7 gigs, and this motherboard is like pretty bad. It's only got a single 4-pin CPU connector on it, right? And yeah, it's running games pretty well. Like the Phantom X, I think it's X2945 or something. It's the 4-core. Yeah. I did a Cinebench run. It got like 375 points, and I compared that to the 860K, and apparently this CPU from 2009 is beating a 4-core from 2014 from
Brian,
AMD.
Can you boost your volume at all?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it. So that's just weird because I haven't changed anything.
We're the same as we always are.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, I can boost it like that. That's about all I can do. Otherwise, I'll just start getting noise. So yeah. Anyway, so I've just been doing that. I did the all AMD build. I got a cooler here called Thor's Hammer.
Whoa.
Yeah, I got this for $10. I've never seen it before, but it looks so cool.
Yeah, it's passive, right? No fans, just a big power
well,
sink,
that's the thing. I'm just gonna friggin' whack some fans on it. So away we go.
Whatever happened with that? Whatever happened with that cooler? Do you remember? Like, I think it was like a year ago. They showed off a cooler that was just, it was just like a metal heatsink that just spun around, and it had no fans on it. You remember that?
Oh, no idea, man.
No, it was like they
That's
showed
it.
it off at like CES or something. It was like all like you saw videos like all the tech channels were there like in Vegas in like a
Yeah.
hotel room where they were showing it off, and it was like a behind closed doors like type thing. But like all the tech channels were there covering it. I think it was like the first year Jay went to CES. Actually, I think that was the year it got covered. I think that
Oh,
was the year.
okay.
Yeah.
So it's
a
just
couple
a
years
heatsink
back.
that spins around. That sounds pretty bad. Yeah, so I did that, did the build, got this cooler in, I got a 560 Ti as well. So I got this for $30.
Nice.
So, and it works. So just been getting the used parts. People just love the used builds, so I'm just going to keep doing them. And I love doing them as well, so I'm just going to keep doing that. And yeah, I'm looking at getting a pair of Beats as well.
All right. The sound. Some people are saying it was a little bit loud. I think what the problem was is that I had OBS lowered in my system volume mixer, and I think that's how it was receiving it. So I put that up to full volume, and then I put my sound back to 80% on OBS, which is what I usually have it at for you. So we should be good now, I think. So we'll see.
Okay. Right, so now I'm too loud. What the okay,
No,
so
we
yeah,
should-
yeah.
We should be fine now.
Okay.
We should be fine now from before.
Okay, well, I'll try that. That should be good. If that's not good, then
Anyway,
yeah.
so that's your tech pickup. Badsy, did you get any new tech pickups? Anything you're working on?
Yeah, I did get some tech pickups this week, mostly in the form of peripherals. I finally got, some peripherals and some studio gear. I got me a really nice new motorized slider for the channel, all carbon fiber. And I got some stuff in the mail from Creative Labs, and I picked me up a Zowie gaming mouse this week. And, Zoe, yeah, and I went out and did a fucking buyout at Micro Center and put together a pretty nice little gaming and editing build for a buddy who's actually getting ready to start a YouTube channel.
Dude, don't ever say Zowie again, or people will fucking eat you alive.
Sorry. Please,
Spelling.
Zoe? That's not how Zoe is even spelled. Why would it be pronounced like that?
It's Zoe. Trust me.
Okay, I take your word for it.
Just trust me on it. This is it. He gets one pass, guys. Just be nice in the chat. Don't kill him. Don't kill him.
yeah, I'm just thinking what you guys were. Yeah, I used my G3 for Counter-Strike, and this is the old school Logitech G3, and I absolutely loved it. I ordered a G100S because I just love this shape, man. I went back to this shape, this mouse, and I was just like, I just miss it. Hey, I don't know why Logitech just doesn't re-release the G3. I do not understand why they don't do it. So,
Yeah.
well.
I
No,
didn't really
it'll
get
get me.
any. I didn't really get any new tech pickups. I've just basically been getting my shit together for Land Syndicate, and I finally hooked. Well, I got the 32-inch 4K monitor, and I hooked it up. Like it's sat here for like 2 days before I finally hooked it up, and then I hooked it up, and I was just like, wow. So it's pretty amazing the size of it. It was like at first it was like really just impressive to see the size of it, but now that I've adjusted to it, I don't think I could go back. It's insane, man. It's just insane to see a 32-inch G-Sync monitor.
Yeah, what about the field of vision in games like FPS and stuff? Like,
It's I haven't really played too much FPS yet. I've been playing Division, which is great in third person, and it's like I just have like a huge field of view of New York, and I also have it set up with because the game has a really awesome dual screen mode, so I have it set up so that my other 4K monitor over here, the 27-inch 4K monitor, is set up so that I have all of my HUD information and everything over there, and my map and all that, so I can see where stuff is at. So I can see where bad seed is at. I don't have to pull up any maps or anything. It's just all right there.
Nice.
sweet.
Yep, it's fucking pretty sick. Loving it. But yeah, it's also and just having the screen real estate, the desktop, but for games I've been playing it at 1440, and at first it was kind of an issue with the anti-aliasing, but if I put it up to super sampling, I was getting 60 frames at 1440, and it looked perfectly crisp even at 32 inches, which I was surprised by. So I think as long as games have good anti-aliasing, 1440 can look good at this size, as long as they've got that good AA in there.
All right, so we want to hit the first topic, HTC Vive review.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, HTC Vive basically, came out, so I figured, we would talk, just mention it a little bit that it did come out, and there's a pretty good write-up over on The Verge by Addie Robertson, and she did a 5-minute video accompanying with it, showing how she got it, showing her, real world experience setting it up, using it, how she set up a timer, showed her how long it took her to get it set up. I think it was about 20 to 30 minutes, 20 minutes to get it set up, and then 30 minutes where she was actually in game and using it. And it seems like with the Vive, they're echoing a lot of what we heard with the Oculus Rift, that it's amazing technology when it works. There's not enough stuff right now for it to support it, which is I think why a lot of our viewers, and I know why I'm going to sit back and wait on it and wait for the prices maybe to come down and hopefully more titles to come out to get supported in the future. Because it still looks like it has some refinement to go here too. I would say the Vive, maybe on the headset, even has a little bit more refinement to go compared to the Rift, as far as just even comfort and all that is concerned.
So, big question is, would you pay $800 for this?
No, I would not pay $800 for it. I'll tell you, I would be a buyer on a headset, if a headset with controls and everything, as long as there was some good titles, like a good stock set of titles that I wanted to play, which there really is already probably enough titles right now for me to play, for me to have fun with, because I would want to play games like, Truck Simulator, obviously, and all that, like Elite Dangerous, Star Citizen eventually. I'd want to play all that stuff. I would pay about $499 with controls and all. I'd go in for $499, I think, on a headset.
Yeah, well, I think I'm waiting for that one. I'm just going to wait until the market picks one up and everyone's just talking about, get this headset, get this one. That's the one I'm going to get.
Yeah.
Because so far, I've heard good things about VR, but I haven't heard great things. And it's okay, why waste my money and time at the moment? Because I don't have either at the moment, so why
I
waste
just don't
it?
think there's just not that one killer app yet. It feels like a lot of the titles out right now are like glorified tech demos, and to spend money like that for something like that, especially on first gen hardware, I'm sure it works, I'm sure it functions, but I think that Gen 2 will iron out a lot of the problems that they're having right now. I don't want to be punished for being an early adopter on something like this with a price tag that high right now.
Yeah. It's not something I really want to use it, but right now to me it's such an extravagance and an oddity. It's not something like G-Sync where I was like, that's technology I need to have and I'm willing to pay $800 for something like that because it's something I need for my day-to-day fucking life. This is more of an extra toy. On top of just having a PC. I would almost consider this something like a PC, and then this is another thing, almost completely different from it because of how expensive it is. It's that much money. That it's its own device. It is its own device.
Is there if you put one of these on, is there a prereq that you have to wear all black and look like a yoga instructor?
Yeah, I think that is, yeah.
I don't know. I just I looked at her. She looks like that chick from in GTA 5, the wife of Michael.
I respect them using the all green backdrop so that basically people could take this and put her in any kind of situation they want with these things. People are going to go to town with this. She's standing there holding these controllers. People could turn those controllers into anything. People are going to go to. I don't know why they would just freely upload a green screen of a woman holding two long objects in her hand with a gigantic thing sitting on her face. But yeah, go for it, man. Tag me on Twitter if you use Photoshop. I would love to see your work.
Oh man!
But so you guys got anything you want to add on the Vive before we move on to this story on the Rift?
No, I stand by me. I'm just going to be waiting a pretty long time before I jump on VR. You know what I mean? And like I said, I'm going to be extensively testing one before I buy it.
Okay, well let me ask. Let me just pose both of you this question before we move on. If you had a gun to your head right now, you had to pick the Vive or the Rift, whatever. Just you had to pick one or the other. Which one would it be right now?
Vive.
Rift.
I'd go Vive as well. I think
go
the Vive.
Rift.
I think the Vive is. I think the Vive, even though it has some edges where it's not as polished as the Rift, I think it has better tech overall, and it's also a more complete package since it has the controllers with it. Whereas the Rift, you're still waiting on those, and I could deal with. Pardon me. I don't really care about the fact that it doesn't have a headset because I would use my own headphones anyway. I would not use the cheap headphones that come with the Rift either way. So.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I've been down that road before, right? I mean, HTC, they pack some good hardware in there, but I think if I was to buy one right now, it'd be like, who's got the best, release software with it? And looks like the Rift does. So, anyway.
All right,
So that's why I'd go with the Rift.
Yeah, well, that's the next thing we have up, the Rift, which is they're having issues right now with getting out their deliveries. They had beat the Vive to the market, but now they're having issues getting out the pre-orders. Even like the really early adopters on Kickstarter, some people that did the early Kickstarter still have not received their Oculus Rift, and they're pissed off, and rightfully so. And the only way that seems they're going about correcting that is by saying that they'll get free shipping on those units. But I'm sorry, if I put up $600+ or something like that, or some people put up thousands of dollars as an early adopter, and I didn't get my shit day one, wouldn't you be fucking pissed?
Yeah, taking care of shipping
I'd
is
be
the
outraged.
least they could do. It's the least they could do. How the hell they're having component sourcing issues already with technology that's just brand new? Like, they didn't foresee this. They didn't have a plan to bring this thing to market. Like, they got caught off guard by not having access to the components they need. It just seems weird, man. It seems really weird to me.
Every single kickstarted one and day one pre-order that they promised should have been ready for day one, and they should have at least the kickstarted ones they should have known months back before they even started taking the new pre-orders. Mm-hmm. Those should have been fulfilled since day one. Those people should have probably gotten their units early, I would say. They should have had an advantage and got them 2 weeks, a month early, every single one of them. I don't know, that's my opinion. What do you think, Brian?
I don't know, man. Like, it is what it is. I was just looking at the Pascal article, actually, to be honest. I'm just like, ooh, let's move on to this one.
We're already past the VR talk.
Yeah. I'm just
So
like,
is anybody getting
Pascal.
it? No, next.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
To
so
be honest, like, yeah.
So you want to talk about Pascal, basically, what you want to talk about?
Yeah, I do. Because they did announce. You guys, you want to hit this one off, right? Because I think you were watching the GTC thing, right?
Well, yeah, they didn't really
Announced
update any. I was waiting for today, maybe thinking they would talk about something with games, but they didn't. It was just all about IBM Watson. So the real information that we got yesterday out of GTC was they talked a lot about cars and AI and a lot of other things that really didn't mean a whole hell of a lot to me. But the information that we did get about the Tesla GPU that we have here is basically the full-fledged Pascal GPU. So we got the full spec of that here now. We could see all of the stats matched up against the full-fledged Kepler and Maxwell, like the GM200, which is what is my 980 Ti or a Titan X. That's the full-fledged Maxwell chip, the GM200. So these stats right here are the full-fledged Pascal. So we're seeing the maximum potential of a Pascal GPU. So you could assume that this will be the highest end one, like a Titan something, and then everything else will be scaled down from there. So what we're seeing is that we're seeing an increase in power efficiency. We're also seeing an increase in the performance as per CUDA core. It's not a 1-to-1 scale of each CUDA core. It's like, oh well, this has 2,000 versus 2,000 CUDA cores. It's like each one is actually equivalent to more. It scales up even faster than that. We got the base clock here is going up is 1328 boosts to 1480. Compared to a GPU boost of 1114 before on GM200. That's an insane boost right there. Like, could you imagine getting that out of the box on Pascal with a faster architecture, like right away before you were even talking about memory?
Yeah, I mean, this thing just looks insane, right? It looks like, those rumors of such a big performance increase may be real with this, right? So, I mean, not only you've got 3,500 stream processors, you've got like almost double the transistor count. I mean, that's worthy of a mention. That, I think 980 Ti, for example, only had like 8. I mean, but it had like 8, had a lot. It had 8 billion there. This thing's going to have 15.3 billion. I mean,
yeah,
that is freaking huge. Like, I don't know what they're going to do with this thing. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with this thing, but I mean, just from the spec sheet on the P100, and based on that, you can already see that, wow, like whatever they want to release, if they want to release it to the gaming market, it's going to be absolutely huge. So it is something to look out for. But I mean, again, what would the price point be, right? If they're going to give us a 60, 70% increase, are they going to charge $1,500 for a flagship single GPU? And I think that's a possibility now, looking at these specs.
I mean, they could spread this out, man. They could do like what they did with Kepler and give us and spread it out over 2 generations. Kind of like how like Walking Dead does now, where they could do like half a season, then take 3 months off and give you the other half a season. I hate that. I hate that shit. And it seems like Nvidia likes to do that sometimes too. They're like, oh yeah, we're just basically gonna limit this GPU architecture by about 50%, and then in 8 months we're gonna roll out the rest of it whenever AMD puts out their stuff, so that we can one up them by a little bit. That's something that Nvidia has done in the past and that they're notorious for. So I wouldn't put it past them, but it's still seeing the full potential of this. This is what I want. Like, this is my eye on the prize, is this full-fledged GPU. That's what I really, really want in the future. But whatever they come out with, in the next few months, I'm sure is going to be exciting as well for 4K performance. But it won't be this. It would not be this, I don't think.
No, not right out of the gate.
No, this is. I don't think we're looking at this until 2017. Seeing something like this with HBM2, because we already talked about that with Micron, and they're not even going to start manufacturing HBM2 until this summer. So there's no way that these GPUs are going to get taped out, in the next couple months with Pascal architecture with 16 gigs of HBM2. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, I'm just. I
would be shocked if it did. It would be. I don't think it's possible.
So with HBM2, right, I think they're going to implement ECC memory protection, which is huge on the GPU side of things. So, I mean, typically, I think with GDDR5, they only had it on the bus, I'm pretty sure, off the top of my head. So it's actually not inside the memory. So this is a huge, huge jump, not only in just the specs, but also in other functions. So, I mean, you can expect, Pascal's looking to be huge. That's all. Like, I'm waiting for this.
Yeah, there's so many changes. It's like, it's not just one thing. It's not like the CUDA. It's not like, oh, we just made the CUDA better, or it just got more power efficient. It's like every single it's like all of the the GPU architecture is getting more efficient and faster, and then the memory architecture is changing, and then they're bringing in this ECC memory support that's going to run completely in parallel. So you have full ECC protection for all of your memory on the graphics card is crazy. It's going to have all of that going on at once. It's so many advances going on. I think it's probably one of the biggest leaps in architecture that we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and apparently that's only 56 of 60 or something, so it's still got a little bit more potential. So that'll be interesting. So,
but it's almost like it's like everything we're looking at right now is geared towards high performance computing, workstation computing, atomic offsite computing. This is hugely professional market stuff right now. Even as, they didn't mention gaming really, but even if we get like a fraction of this performance just to apply to games, it just seems like Nvidia is aggressively going after an extremely high-end market here, which I think can only benefit us, because if they're pulling in money on that end, that means they could afford to pass the savings off to us to a certain extent on the gaming, on the consumer cards.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's what the consumer cards are, right? They're the ones that don't make it to the business.
So they're talking about this right now. So they're talking about this right now as being part of the professional aspect that you're talking about, right? With the supercomputing.
Right.
But when you're looking at these charts, though, side by side, all you have to do is look at what the GPU actually is, and it is just GM200 versus GP100, and GM200 is a 980 Ti and a Titan X, so that's what we're looking at there, is just the full-fledged Pascal. That will be a consumer GPU, and then probably the next year, probably 12 to 18 months, I would say. That should be a consumer GPU, right, Brian? Probably.
I'd imagine it would be. Knowing Nvidia, I just don't think they would release such a big card straight away.
No, not straight away. No. They still got to. No, they still got to go through the whole hurdle of GDDR5X before we start seeing this.
Yeah, and that's what I think. Yeah, that's exactly right. So I think they're going to charge. This is the business card. We're going to charge a shitload for it. Then we're going to trickle out. Yeah, we're going to trickle out the X80, X70. They'll have your 10-20% speed gain, roughly the same price. Yada yada yada. Everyone's happy. No, we're not happy, because we want this massive card in our desktops, right?
Yeah, it's It's not that we're going to see it anytime soon, but it's just good information because now we could basically just see the full-fledged potential of what the Pascal GPUs can do on paper. At least we could see the full-fledged specs on paper, and then we could match that up, and figure out, where performance might lie, and maybe even, start to speculate on how it could perform. We saw. I think we saw. I remember we saw that with Maxwell. Remember they said, "Oh yeah, we looked at the performance, and here's what we predict how it's going to perform in like 3D Mark." I can only imagine someone's going to do that at some point.
But I mean, I just imagine it's just like we've been waiting so long for this already, though. I mean, it's supposed to come out the end of 2015. It was supposed to come out here and there, so we're already waiting, right? So if they release Pascal, and then we have to wait another year for the flagship card, it's like, what point is there selling your 980 Ti? I think your 980 Ti is going to still be good. Your Fury, if you're on the AMD side.
Well, if you want to do 4K, if you want to do 4K gaming, it's 4K. It's really for 4K gaming. For the next cards that come out, if they if those new cards that come out, like if any cards come out before June, like like with 8 gigabytes of RAM and maybe a bigger memory bus or something on Pascal, like a scaled down version of Pascal with, not HBM2, but still a Pascal GPU, it's still going to be really good and really, really fast.
But I mean, I never really had a problem with gaming on 4K with a 980 Ti. I mean, I just turned down the settings. Like, BadSeed already did a video showing the Ultra versus high. I mean, I was having just such a good experience on high settings on a lot of my games at 4K. They were running perfectly fine.
I can't get over that in my head, though. I can't, when I play the Division, I have to put it all on Ultra, man. Except for
do you notice the difference though?
Yeah, in my head it doesn't matter. I just turn up I turn up everything but GameWorks, and then I feel good in my head.
Placebo. Joker's just gonna take his Ultra.
I don't care. I'll completely admit to my placebo. It's fine. I completely accept it.
It's definitely a mental block thing. It definitely is.
It makes me.
I don't know why,
It makes me feel like I'm missing out on something. It makes me feel like I went to a 3D movie and everyone got glasses except me. It's like everyone else around me's got glasses, and I'm sitting here watching a blurry image. Like, what the fuck? Why didn't I get glasses?
No way, man. Everyone else is now seeing a different picture to you.
I know, but that's how I feel in my head. I'm telling you. I'm missing out on this. It's like I don't want to play it like this. I'd rather just wait. Like, I remember when Far Cry 3 came out, and I was playing on a laptop, and I was like, I had my 770. I was like, I'm going to wait until I get my 780s because it was not running great on 2 gigabytes of video memory. So I was like, I'm waiting until I get my 780s to play that game, and I waited like 6 months to play that thing. And it was worth it.
I don't know. So, like, for me, like, aren't you just feeling like I could have saved $1,000?
No, because Ultra means Ultra.
Because and then that's where the justification comes in. Because if I was bargain hunting, it wouldn't bother me. But if I'm going to go out and I'm going to pay the best, if I'm going to pay for the best, I should be able to set the game settings to the best. That's definitely where the mental block comes in. You feel like it's owed to you because you paid the price of admission.
Especially
going SLI, right?
Okay, well the thing, especially with SLI, because if I boot up a game and it's like I'm getting like 50 FPS and it's not 60, and I see my cards hovering around 70% usage, I'm just like, if those were going 100%, then I'd be getting more frames. Why aren't they getting used more? They should be getting used more. So if the game isn't using it properly, then either the game developers messed up or the NVIDIA drivers messed up, or a combination of the two. And I feel like that added performance that I'm missing out on is definitely owed to me because I feel like I paid for it. And if my cards aren't being fully utilized, because my opinion on it is that there's no excuse for it because there are other games that do fully utilize it. So if they can do it, then why can't you? That's why I look, But hey, maybe NVLink could solve that. Maybe, I don't know. BadSeed was reading up. BadSeed was reading up on NVLink. You want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Hashtag segue.
Hashtag segue. NVLink is.
And thank you, NoX, for your donation. He said he feels the same way about Ultra. Awesome comment. Thank you, sir, for your donation.
That's $1.
Go straight
that's $1 towards your Pascal SLI rig. That's $1.
That is one.
Donating.
That is well, dude. The thing is, I won't even need to buy an SLI bridge because of NVLink. Right there, you go. That's a segue.
That's a segue.
That's a segue. That is a segue. Take it away.
So NVLink is a new high-speed interconnect technology that they're talking about with the Tesla, and it's not like a to be announced thing. It's coming out in the Tesla P100 and both the Pascal GP100 GPUs. The idea here is that for years and years we've been talking about Crossfire and SLI, and both those terms are going to go away because what they're finding is that PCIe Express is just not enough bandwidth to do what they need to do. It's not harnessing the power. So this thing, it basically brings two really important things to the table. Number one, being limited by PCI lanes seems to be completely off the table. And where the power here is coming in is that each of the GPUs that are on this link can directly access and compute off what is stored in the memory, not only of the system, but what the individual cards have stored in their memory as well. So it doesn't have to process anything before it can get access to that data. It just flicks right over to that card, looks in the memory, and it can compute right off that. Not only that, but it's scalable, which means the more like you can gang these things up and just get exponentially better performance based on how many of these things you have running. And furthermore, not only can they compute GPU to GPU, but if you have one of the supported NVLink CPUs, like the IBM Power CPUs, you can communicate directly with the CPU as well, and the CPU can aid in the switching to and from the cards. So this is supposedly just going to absolutely blow the doors off anything we've seen. They're saying that the maximum aggregate bandwidth, theoretically, is 160 gigabit per second bidirectional, which is worlds away from what we're used to seeing when we're watching two cards communicate with each other. So
yeah, that's huge.
Here in a few months,
and also the other way. And previously with SLI, you're also being limited by the speed of your CPU because the frames that are being shuffled around, the CPU is having to handle that. With this, though, it's just one constant stream.
That's right.
Everything is all together, which is why it's just going to be way faster. It's going to take that load off the CPU, which is going to free that up to be able to handle other processes as well. So it's really just using GPU acceleration the way that it's meant to. If you ever, there's actually a really good demonstration they did a while back that shows how Nvidia GPUs work, where they had like Adam Savage and the other guy from MythBusters come on stage. Do you remember this? And they showed how they could paint an image with a CPU, and it was like a laser printer, almost like an old printer, like going like an old dot matrix printer, like da-da-da-da-da-da. But then they were like, with a GPU, it's just like shooting it out the end of a shotgun and just one shot, and it's just all done at once because it does everything at the same time. And that's what they're talking about here. Just everything is simultaneous, so there's no bottlenecks.
No bottlenecks until they come up. So we don't know. I mean, you got to let it hit the wild, right? Everything theoretically, I'd love to see how it works in the wild. Yeah. So as with anything, right?
I would too, but I think when Nvidia first started talking about the specs of the next platform, I think it seemed like lunacy to all of us. Like we were all like, okay, yeah, paper specs, whatever. But it was so outlandish in terms of specs compared to what we're using right now. But seeing as how some of this has been tested, some of it's ready to go right now, I think Nvidia is being a little more reserved in what they're saying it's going to do versus what it's actually going to do when it gets out. I don't think we're going to see a huge disparity between what they're talking about theoretically and what we're going to see live when it goes. Now, how much of this we'll be able to use for gaming, who knows? We're not doing off-site atomic processing or anything. We're not doing shared computing. I don't have that kind of technology in my house to play the Division on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're talking about all kinds of computer performance. It's so far outside what we use for gaming right now. But it'll be impressive to see it all roll out.
Oh, they wanted. I think they want Google's money. So
your monitor behind you is flickering and stuff. But anyway, we got we spent a lot of time on this though. You want to move on to the
we're gonna have to hurry.
The 980 Ti. Basically, this all kind of ties in because they're coming down to the end of the generation. So it looks like they're going to stop producing the GM200 chips, which is pretty typical. And then you'll start to see the cards dying down, and then your selection and your options if you are trying to go buy a new 980 Ti. And then eventually you'll probably see the price on them go up on new ones at some point because they'll start to become harder to find new. That's usually how it goes. But the used ones will just go down a lot. And then everyone is going to lose money that sits around and waits to sell their 980 Ti's.
Well, I mean, that's how the business goes, right? They've got to move on, right? Nvidia need to make money. They're not going to make money if everyone's just on the same cards and just sitting there while they're pumping out drivers. They've got a team of staff doing that, so they need to do something quick, and that's what we're going to see. They're going to get 16 nanometer out there as soon as possible because they already know that they can't keep trickling out 28 nanometer. Just won't cut it anymore. So yeah, they've had Pascal in the works for a long time actually, and this is just confirmation that we're going to be getting something pretty soon. Hopefully within the next couple of months.
Do you guys remember the timing of when they spooled down the 780 Ti to when they actually launched the GTX 980? Do you remember what kind of time period that was?
I forgot, man, off the top of my head. I thought it was the same freaking I thought it was like the same.
It's like within like I would say 2 to 3 months. I mean, I think realistically we're looking at a June release because I'm not sure when exactly the next GTC is. But there's another one coming up like relatively soon. I think it's in like maybe 6 weeks or something. I don't know exactly when though. So don't.
I mean, I thought with the 780, I thought they just released. Like I know there was 780s on retail going out at $500, and then the 970 came out, and bam, it just dropped down to like $300 for a 780. And I was just like, "Whoa, what the?" You know?
Imagine.
It just drops down by about half. It plummets.
I didn't actually specifically remember reading an article about them stopping production for the 780 until like they just released Maxwell. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, once those new cards come out, I don't expect the 980 Ti's used to go for much more than like $400. If you're looking to get rid of them on a short sale, just so you can get some money to fund some new GPUs, which is what a lot of people do. And you'll see that day, like that right away when those cards roll out, you'll just see 980 Ti's like all out there, $400, $425 all day long. So if you're waiting around to upgrade, that's when you pounce on it, right when the new cards drop.
There's probably so many 980 Ti's still in the market right now. There's enough to hold it over for the marketplace right now. But did you guys, either you find it odd that they didn't even so much as touch on the gaming aspect in the big Nvidia announcement? I think everybody was waiting for
that's
gaming.
That's what we're waiting for, they didn't talk at all about it. Yeah, it was disappointing, extremely disappointing.
So it's like in one aspect, it's like, well, it might be a ways off, but then you get this article that they're ratcheting down production of the 980 Ti, and like that's a clue that it might be coming sooner than we think. But where was the announcement?
But that's Nvidia. They want to keep selling their current gen cards. That's how they roll. They from a business point, it's smart. I'm disappointed. Like I didn't even watch any of the event. I was just like, wow, this is even more boring than AMD's event. Like I thought it was boring.
At least when AMD does an event, you know they're going to show off graphics cards or something.
Yeah, like
AMD. I will say that I will give AMD credit for that. They never disappoint as far as at least showing off something or at least hyping something up. Even if they don't have anything to show, they'll still hype something up if they don't have it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say this was pretty freaking boring, to be honest. Like. So yeah, but I
had it going in the background the whole time basically, and then I had it. After about a half hour, I just basically muted it and just kept glancing over to see if I saw anything with graphics cards, and I was just like, I saw cars, and I was just like, oh my god! I was like, what's next? Shield and streaming? Come on!
Yeah, but
where's the Shield? Bring it out. Where's the new Shield?
But if we look at Nvidia, they tend to do when he does that. Job's done. When he does the announcements, like when he does when he did the 970, didn't he announce that and that day it was for sale? Wasn't that the deal?
I don't remember if they did a paper launch on the 970.
It's usually like immediately after.
Yeah,
with graphics cards, it's always like that. They basically announce it, and then you could basically find them on Newegg an hour later.
Because I remember that.
And they'll have a handful, and then they'll be gone.
Yeah, so I remember him doing that. I remember him just like, this is the 970, bang, and then like everyone's like, whoa, and then it's like for sale, and it's like, whoa. So I think that's their style of doing things.
Dude, I did it on the 980 Ti. It was the first time I ever did it where I sat there at launch and basically lived on the F5 button on Newegg and like 8 other websites for a good 2-3 days to try to get 2 of those things. And I got them, and I had the first SLI video up on 980 Ti's.
So you got 2 980 Ti's.
Like I got one the day they announced it, and then I got one I ordered one the very next day. The first one got there 2 days after I ordered it, the next one the very next day. So yeah, so within 3 days of them being announced, I had 2 of them on hand, and then like a few days later, I had videos on them.
Okay, so you click the F5 button 2 times.
Just
You got
F5,
two 980
just F5 all day.
Ti's.
F5,
Half-Life 2
F5.
confirmed.
F5, exactly. Half-Life.
Half-Life 2 remake.
Half-Life,
remake.
Half-Life Episode 3 confirmed. You have to press F5. It has to be divisible by 3, though.
No, it's Half-Life 2 remake confirmed.
You got to count the F5s. You got to count how many times you press it. You're not very good at Illuminati, Brian.
It's Half-Life 2 remake. Anyway, there's 2 sides to a triangle.
No, you're terrible at this Illuminati stuff. You just need to stop it now.
Tom, so we're gonna move on. I don't have a lot of time, so we're gonna have to move on. We're gonna have to bang through these topics.
We gotta move.
Like
we gotta move
fastest
on.
we've ever banged through them.
So we're gonna move on to the Division, which me and BadSeed have been playing a freaking metric ton of, man. We've pounded through that.
So much Division. Jeez,
yes.
so much.
So we're looking forward to this. I mean, if it comes down to it, Brian. I mean, if we run out of topics and you got to go, I mean, BadSeed's here. I mean, he could fill in.
He's
so
there,
if that's worst case scenario,
he doesn't have a Thor's hammer.
That's
I got a
scenario.
Thor's hammer. I just can't show it on camera, buddy.
There you go. So anyway, Division's got a patch coming up. I kind of sold out, and I've been playing it because BadSeed talked me to getting it so I could play with him. We've been having fun just shooting the same exact enemies over and over and over again, exactly like I thought it would be. But we're still having fun doing it nonetheless.
We're having a good time.
We're having a good time doing it.
You put up a hell of a fight. I really sold you on the idea of getting the Division. It was a tough fight, and it was selfish because I didn't want to go in alone. I didn't want to go in low ranked. And we slept on it so long that all of our boys were too high to level to play with. Like we had to do it that way.
Yep. Well, they got this patch coming out, which people have been waiting for. There's some things in here like simple stuff, like being able to trade items between players that honestly should have been, I feel like, hotfixed into the game, but they've been waiting, and this is patch 1.1, so this is the first major patch they're doing, and they're bringing in a load of fixes as well as new features. They're adding in a new mode, this incursion mode, which is really like end game content, because when you get to the max rank, you kind of run out of things to do. So this is a way of giving you even something harder than the challenge modes that are already built into the game. It's really designed for 4 players to go in with like really high spec gear that have been playing the game like to the end of the game and like have nothing else to do but go do like these max level raids like old World of Warcraft style. So you got to really get your shit together for those.
Job's done.
But I think we're still a way away from doing our incursion missions. Yeah.
I think we are. Yeah, we've still got some leveling up to do. I think the problem right now is that if you ripped through this game and leveled up all the way to end game, there wasn't a lot of end game to keep you. I mean, at this point, you get to the end and you're maxed out. You're pretty much just going rogue whenever you can, just to try to get your hands on some fresh gear. There's not really much of an end game. This is going to add some much needed end game stuff, as well as some dedicated armor sets, so you can really tailor your character a little better. This is what the game's been waiting for. I'm stoked for it.
Attila wanted to know a controller or keyboard and mouse for Division. Honestly, I mean, I use a keyboard and mouse, and I think that's the best way to play it. But BadSeed is playing on the couch, so he's using a controller, and he seems to be doing okay with it. Personally, I wouldn't like to do that. I don't think you said you're not using, or at least you're not using an aim assist of any kind.
No, to my knowledge, no, I'm not using aim assist of any kind, and I'm not having any problem with headshots or anything else. But that said, I'm a longtime console player, so the controller is not foreign to me. I would be doing worse with keyboard and mouse, I think, than I would be doing with controller at this point in time. But I guess the reality of it is it works fine for both. It's whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah, it's really whatever you're comfortable with, and if you happen to disagree with him, he'll just take those brass knuckles he's curling around his fingers right now and break your fucking jaw. That's why he holds those. He calmly gives his opinion. Meanwhile, he's holding a lethal weapon in the other hand. He's just like, this is just my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong.
Yeah,
you want to give me your opinion? We'll see. We'll see who's right. We'll see who's right. All right. So next one up, Brian. You're probably going to be really excited for this. Doom is getting an open beta now, coming on April 15th, dude. April 15th through the 18th. Actually, that's going to be while I'm in Seattle for LAN Syndicate, so I guess we're going to be playing Doom at LAN Syndicate.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of LAN Syndicates going to be playing Doom. That is outstanding timing, and I am jealous as all holy hell because of that.
I just put that math together right now and realized that, and now I have to message Logan and message him and Kane and tell them that and make sure that they are aware of this. I'm going to tell him right now.
I mean, I really like the look of it, especially since they've got that Quake. It looks like a Quake Arena feel, so it looks really good in that it's going to bring a different element, something that I haven't played in a long time. I mean, look, you can play CS:GO, you can play, you know, Call of Duty, but they've all got a different feel to them. You know what I mean? They've all this, you know, Quake Arena had its own feel.
Sure.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit. I'd say a little bit close. Like I'd say Unreal Tournaments kind of thing. Same. They're in the same league, but like I really want that to come back into a modern day game, and Doom looks like it's going to bring that back.
We're having this conversation earlier because I think it's going to attract a different kind of gamer, because this is not going to be the kind of multiplayer where you're working hard to unlock a weapon or a perk or a loadout or something like that. Like, this is going to be playing an arena style shooter just for the sake of playing an arena style shooter. There's not much of a carrot on a stick here in terms of leveling up, from what I understand, right, Joker? I mean, what do you get? Outfits, colors? Is that it?
For what?
For when you're playing.
Get back here, dude.
I'm sorry. Logan messaged me back.
That's all right. Well, okay, right. So, but bottom line is, I am worried though, because I saw a video on your channel, man, and it's like when I looked at that compared to the original demo they showed, I thought the original demo had a bit more going for it. So I just hope that they're not cutting out any of the graphical options than when I first saw that demo. You know, because I thought that demo I first saw was just like, it blew me away. So I hope I can get that single player experience. I hope I have the option to also put that into the multiplayer if I want to, you know.
I can, and also I could just tell if anyone here is going to Land Syndicate, I can tell you that Logan has just confirmed we shall have a Doom tournament now at Land Syndicate. I just told him about it, and he said we will have a tournament. There you go. Doom tournament at Land Syndicate. Oh yes. Oh, I'm getting my shotgun ready now. I'm ready.
Joker's frothing at the mouth.
I am. I'm gonna have to. I wasn't gonna pack my caster, but now things are getting real. So I think the caster's gonna have to make its way into my bag. I have to bring a real big boy's mouse.
And some energy drinks too, Red Bulls.
Yeah, loads of GeForce GTX energy drinks.
And your GeForce shoes packed
Yep.
up.
So, all right, so let's move on to the next topic, man. Facebook has kind of been making like a move against YouTube for a while now with their video game, and it's actually I think it's for the better, because it was a problem where a lot of people were like stealing people's YouTube videos and doing full uploads. That still is kind of a problem, but now at least the Facebook platform is becoming enticing for people that make videos like us to actually want to go there and post our content there ourselves. Because before there really wasn't a whole lot of reason, but now there is. Well,
for me, there's always been a reason. Since I uploaded to Facebook, I was getting way more views than I am on Vessel. So I've stopped I'm being honest. I've stopped uploading to Vessel. Like, Vessel can just, I don't care, man. Like, Vessel's not doing anything for me. I upload, I get like 1 like, 2 views. I'm like, what? I upload to Facebook, I'm getting a heap of likes, hundreds of views. I'm just like, wow, this is so much better. So at the moment, I'm going to focus on YouTube and Facebook. You know, what's the point of me going to Vessel when all they go there? And, you know, I'm not going to say anything more, because it's just going to come off as me whinging. But, you know, I think Vessel needs to give the smaller channels a bit more love, you know?
Anyway. I agree. I've been live on Vessel now for about just a little over a month, and I think I would have better luck getting views if I walked up to total strangers on the street with my phone and was like, "Yo, watch this video real quick."
Well, the thing is the thing is on Vessel that we could tell you flat out from them. It's open. This information is not hidden information. That they basically they approach content creators and they offer them additional promotion on the website and through their social media if they play ball basically with Vessel and do early uploads and give them exclusive content. Which is why when you go to basically any tech channel on Vessel and look at the related channels page, the top 5 channels are probably going to be the exact same ones. It's Linus Tech Tips, WAN Show, NCIX Tech Tips, Tech Quickie, and Hardware Canucks. It's like it's 4 Linus channels and Hardware Canucks. I forget what I think Channel Super Fun might be up there as well.
Of course it is.
And then you've got like Tech Syndicate below that usually, and a few other pretty big like Unbox Therapy, people like that. I'm down usually like in the 4th or 5th row, but the top 5 is always the same.
Dude, I'm down like right down the bottom of the page, and it's like I've never been shuffled. Like, I've been to that site, like I checked it out for a couple of months, like all the time. It was like no other channels got featured, no other like. It was just like, yeah, early access to LinusTechTips.com. That's why, I've got no problem with that. They should just call their website that.
I just don't. Okay. I'm not hating on them. You know, I don't want to do the early content. And I told them that, so that's why we don't get that love, because we won't do the early content and play ball with them on it. They came for the month of April. They're actually making a pretty big push with technology. If you notice, before they were kind of exclusive with how many channels they picked up, but now they're basically just taking anyone that's a technology channel, they're taking them on. And they're going to them and saying, "Hey, will you guys upload videos to us exclusively, or maybe only one video, but exclusively for the whole month of April? To really drive your audience over to the Vessel platform." And they're offering channels money and incentives for that, and it's just not something I would want to really play ball on, because I feel like it's holding back content from the viewers over here. I don't really think that that's necessary. It doesn't seem necessary to me.
But if anything,
especially on a platform
right,
that's really failing.
Well, I might upload a video there just telling people to go over to my YouTube, because
yeah, exactly. There you go.
No,
that's what you should upload on Vessel and tell them to go over to your YouTube. That makes a lot of sense.
This is the thing too. This is the thing for me with YouTube. I'm grateful for YouTube. None of this would have been possible. Like for where I've got till now, it's all thanks to Google. So I'm not going to bite. I'm not going to bite the hand that feeds. So I'm going to stick with YouTube. I mean, if Facebook's like an extra avenue that I can push, and it's like in my opinion, fair, because it's like, look, let's be honest. None of us guys have ever been featured at the front of the Vessel page, and it's like they could give us some love. They could give the smaller channels some love. I've just seen like all the smaller tech channels have just been buried at the bottom of their page, and it's like, all right, well, I'm just going to start using Vessel. Like, I might upload a video today, just be like, hey guys, come over to my YouTube channel, come check it out.
Well, I think the best thing that could be said about it, and why it's not an effective platform for any of us really, is that we all watch each other's videos. All three of us watch each other's videos. Okay, I didn't know, Brian, you were on Vessel. You didn't know I was on Vessel. Joker had no idea I was on Vessel. And I think that's all you can really say about it.
Yeah, that's true. So, I mean, yeah, it's at the end of the day, I think this is probably a message to Vessel. It's like, look, you guys got to shuffle.
Just to switch track back onto the real story is that Facebook is basically expanding their video platform on the mobile devices to try to actually make it better, and it is actually a pretty decent platform. I've been getting better about posting my videos over there as well. So, I mean, I do have like some people that follow the Facebook page, but it's like nowhere near as many as the Twitter. And I think I think a lot of younger people stopped using Facebook, but it's crazy how quick stuff can get shared over there if you get like the right type of video, like the how-tos and stuff. So
see, I don't use
it is
Facebook
a good platform
at all. I don't use it at all right now, and this really piques my interest in putting some videos across on there. If they are going to do something about the freebooting situation, and there is the potential for traffic there, great.
Yeah. There's a lot of potential for traffic there. So like it's a good way to promote the channel. Like if you did like maybe like little short videos like away from YouTube, like teasers and things, like the direct traffic. It's just another good way to promote and stuff like that.
I've been doing Facebook for the last week, and like I said, I'm going to keep doing Facebook and YouTube. I'm not, like I said, I'm going to stop doing Vessel because the results is like it's not even worth my time uploading there. That's all I'm saying. So, and I will actually today or tomorrow I'll put up a video just saying, look guuse, here's my Facebook link.
I'm still uploading to Vessel. I'm not going. I wouldn't go that far. I would never go as far to say I'm not uploading to Vessel. All I was saying is that I would not get behind it and like upload there early, because I just don't feel that that's fair to anyone. I would just always upload to every platform at the same time. Always. It just seems the best way to go about it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it comes across as me bitching a little bit today, but it's because like I've uploaded like I think 20 videos there, and I don't even think all those 20 videos collectively have 100 views. I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? 20 video, that's, how much data that is? Like, how many gigabytes worth of upload and time and writing descriptions and all that? And, for what? For nothing, really. Because I don't even know what kind of money they pay. I don't know anything. There's no transparency on Vessel either.
Yeah, that's a big problem. That's a big problem is you can't even get the advertisers on there, is because they don't even share data with advertisers about how many views you're getting and things like that. It's like everything is hidden. And then when you go on the back end on your analytics page, it has a big red tag at the top that says confidential. You can't even share this information with anyone. So you can't even tell anyone what your data is.
That's it. So anyway, yeah, like, so do we want to move on? Because like, yeah, I've probably got to bail in like 20 minutes.
It's exhausted that. Let's move on to this. So WhatsApp is it's a good app. I use it for messaging. I think now seeing this, reading this is making me going to want to use it even more and make it almost a dedicated messaging app and really actually start encouraging all of my family and friends to start using WhatsApp versus text messaging. Just because I like the idea of having the complete end-to-end encryption. Before it was having some encryption before, but now it's complete. One of the last hurdles they were overcoming was video. Now, even if you do video messaging back and forth, it's completely encrypted, which is really, really cool. So
Yeah.
I just like the idea of having my shit protected, and not having the peace of mind to know that no one is watching what I'm doing.
Well, and
Hopefully.
the big takeaway here is that the encryption is blind even to them. So if you have an FBI versus Apple type situation, you don't even have that situation. They could subpoena them to turn over their data, but it's just encrypted data. They can't even access that data. That's great from a privacy standpoint.
Yep.
That's
That's why I'm
like,
going to encouraging. Do they have a desktop version of this? I would love to actually use this as opposed to Skype, man. If they made a desktop version of this with end-to-end encryption, is it like that would rival Skype? I would use that all day long. That would be amazing.
It's just, I mean, again though, like, is this going to be like the new terrorist platform though? Like, that's
I said the same thing.
God.
It's exactly what I said.
People are. It's so ignorant though, because yes, they probably would use something like this, but that doesn't mean that you stop using it. I mean, that's like. It's the same ignorance as like you hear like in the UK from their prime minister, they go going against saying, oh, we want to ban encryption because they don't understand what encryption is or how it protects them. Encryption is a good thing, and just because some people may use it for nefarious purposes doesn't mean that you should ever stop encryption or cease the advancement of encryption technology.
In this day and age, unfortunately, I think you have to, because there's too many idiots out there. That's the problem, dude. There's too many fucking idiots out there, and they take advantage of things like this.
No, there's no defending this. No, no one should be able to look at what you're doing ever.
Okay, until someone blows up your fucking brother or something. How would you feel, man, if your brother died in a terrorist attack and they used WhatsApp for the encryption because it was encrypted? How would you feel?
It wouldn't affect me either one way or the other that they had used that app, because no matter what, if they needed to communicate that information, if they wanted to pull off that attack, they would have done it. They would have used something else.
They may have got caught in the process.
No, there's been
ways
to send
network.
Dude, the people have been sending encrypted messages long before WhatsApp came along, dude.
Yeah, but
long before WhatsApp, people have been sending encrypted messages.
Again, the bottom line is though, I don't think we nowadays I don't think we can have encryption.
And there's probably more secure methods than WhatsApp that you could actually use.
Everyone's like, but I'm saying everyone's for like, oh man, privacy and encryption, but the bottom line is we've created this fucked up world where we're not responsible now to have this sort of technology because people just take advantage of it. Pedophiles will get on here and start rolling out. The bottom line is we live in a bad times, man.
I'm not saying we don't, but so you think that, so then because of that, you're comfortable just turning over all of your data to the FBI or whoever, the government watching everything?
Yeah, because I got nothing to fucking hide, man.
I would never do that. I would not want anyone to know what I'm talking about or what I'm doing. Want people watching me, man. That never works out well for anyone.
No, I don't know. I just think the day and age that we live in, you go out in the streets now, and I guarantee you, I walk around for an hour, I'll find a few idiots, So
I think part of the problem that we have right now that we do see in the streets is because we already give up way too much of our information. We already give up a lot of it. We already give up a lot more than you probably realize. We pretty much give up everything. So we need a little bit of protection.
We do need protection. Yeah, we do. I just think nowadays things have gone so backwards that I can't really blame what's going on. Like, I can't really blame them for surveilling people like the way they do. So, everyone's on this politically correct, I need my privacy, whatnot. But the problem is that there's too many people taking advantage of it too. That's all. And so, I'm stuck in the middle. But at the same time, it's like everyone's like, everyone's going off on your tangent, man. Like, oh, we need end-to-end encryption. We need this privacy. But then it's kind of like, okay, what about all those people who take advantage of it? And that's what's happening. There's a lot of people taking advantage of it. So, And I got to speak my mind, like, because
no, that's fine. No, you should
It's,
absolutely speak your mind and never feel. You should never. No one should ever be afraid to speak their mind, and no one should ever think that. I'm sure there will be people that are in the post comments are going to be like, "Oh, Joker and Brian had a disagreement. They hate each other now." It's just a debate, man. It's fine. We're going to move on now to the next topic. It's all.
And people can be like, "Oh man, I'm sub. I didn't give a shit. I speak my mind. I speak my mind. I always am going to speak my mind."
I think it's fine, but I think we're going to move on to the next topic because I believe I voiced my opinion. You voiced your opinion. It doesn't seem like either one of us is going to say anything right now in the span of the amount of time we have to sway one person one way or the other. So just really got to move on with the show. I really don't have anything more to add to it. I think I've said
I will say one more thing. If you don't want to share your data, just unplug your internet cable, okay? Put your tinfoil hat on and fucking don't even.
Come on, man. No, come on, man. Now you're going too far, man. Come on, man. I let you off easy. Now you're gonna go tinfoil hat on me, man. That's disrespectful.
It's
not tinfoil hat because we need the encryption because they are actually watching us. The tinfoil hat method would be if they weren't actually watching us and seeing what we're doing, but they are doing it. We know that they're doing it, so it's not tinfoil hat because we have proof of it. We know that it's there. They do it openly. They've recently saying, "Hey, can you guys help us get into this shit that we're not supposed to be able to get into legally? Like, no one's legally supposed to be able to get in here, but we need your help getting in here." Like, that's the type of people that you're dealing with, and they just do it. And if they didn't need help, just imagine how much they are willing to do. They wouldn't stop at looking at anything. They would. I don't believe to the FBI that anything is off limits. I believe if they feel that they can access it, that they're not going to ever stop themselves. I don't believe that there's a barrier for them that ever gets in their way of saying, "Oh, maybe I should stop looking at this point."
Well, brother, if they catch a few pedophiles in the process, then hell yeah, I'm all for it. Get that filth off the streets, man. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, have you guys seen this new Panasonic camera?
That's what I was gonna say. Speaking of segues, if you are going to watch pedophiles, the best way to do it is probably on this new Panasonic GX85.
Get that filth off the streets.
If you're gonna be a pedophile, this is the camera to do it with. Okay. This thing it's a small point. This is kind of similar to the G7 that we're all rocking, but this is more of a point and shoot. So it's a little bit. It's more for the pedophile on the go that wants to be able to capture full 4K or 1080.
I'm thinking in my head. There's people in the comments. What about me, man? What about me? You don't matter nowadays.
I'm sorry. I'm just joking.
Any hope of a Panasonic sponsorship ever, right there. It's just decimated right there.
I love my Panasonic, man. Here it is, right here. I've got a love affair with this thing. Look, here it is.
Panasonic,
here it is on my Italian Panasonic, baby. There it is. Look at that.
Oh shit.
Panasonic lens. Panasonic.
Look at that, man. You can take off the wide angle adapter too. You can get that zoom in shot on the pedo. So. Woohoo!
Oh man. It's over.
Anyway, so this is like a smaller point and shoot version of like the G7. I mean, the G7 is already pretty much almost is like a point and shoot, but this is even more of a point and shoot. So it's pretty damn slim. It's going to be releasing at like $800 with a 12 to 32 kit lens, which is actually more than what the G7 is selling for right now. But it's important to note that that's actually less than what the G7 launched for. So it's and it is a slimmer model, but you can get the G7s cheaper right now. And honestly, unless this thing has some crazy video features built into it that are better than the G7, I'd still go with the G7. Unless you just want a pocket camera.
Yeah, unless you're just in love with the body style, because it's got all the same resolutions and capabilities as the G7 that we're using right now.
I'll tell you. Well, you know what? Comparing it to the G7 probably isn't fair. I'll tell you, a fair comparison is comparing it. If you're looking at a point and shoot, like comparing it to something like the Olympus Pen F, this would be better if you are more concerned with video versus pictures, because the Olympus Pen F is a little bit more money, but it's probably going to do better stills. But this is going to do better video because this does 4K video, whereas the Pen F only does 1080 video. But it's but better pictures.
I mean,
probably.
I think with something like this, right? It's all about form factor. This thing is for that person who wants that quality, but they just really want to carry this thing around. For me, I do not care about, like, I'll take a big camera anywhere I go. I don't give a shit.
Same here.
But it's for that person who wants to put it in their bag or whatever. They need a quick backup cam, whatnot. They've got this. So it looks really good. I like the specs of it. It's definitely going to be a hit. I mean, Panasonic has just been killing it, absolutely killing it.
Yeah, and if they come out with like a nice pancake lens like that with like a range like that with a good aperture, like a constant aperture, I'd be all over it.
Yeah. So
like 12 to 32 with 2.8 aperture. Yeah, I'll sign me up for one of those. Take one. All right, so this next one I thought might have interested you, Brian, is Huawei.
That's it.
Their new,
I love it, man.
Their new P9 getting announced. This thing looks sexy, and it's got 2 Leica cameras on the back. One that does color, one that does the monochrome to combine for the most amazing, vivid colors you've ever seen in your life from Leica cameras on a fucking phone.
I mean, it looks good. It looks good. It's got the specs, octa-core. I mean, I'm a big fan of Huawei. I got my Huawei here, and I'm going to be getting another Huawei. This is the best smartphone I've ever owned, and it was surprisingly the cheapest smartphone I've ever owned too. So I bought this thing just expecting it to just do Twitter and whatever. As long as it did Twitter, that was all I could care about and took calls. But it did much more than that, and for whatever the cheapest smartphone I've ever had, hasn't missed a beat. The battery life's good. I'm gonna sound like a shill here for Huawei, so I'm just gonna shut up. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the P9, and yeah.
Well, I'm pretty
Huawei
unfamiliar with this brand. I thought that they were kind of inexpensive, but they're not. When you look at the pricing, like it's just $680 US for the lower model and $850 US for the bigger brother. And we don't even know if we're going to get it in the States, right?
Well, they eventually they did in the past with the P7 and the P8s. I kind of slept on Huawei, but they're really like really like a Samsung competitor, and they're really, really nice phones, and like they've got some high quality spec in them, and like now that they're starting to do stuff like this, I think this is something that's going to actually really put them on the map if they decide to start shipping this in the U.S. and market it a little bit. I think that name might actually hold them back. I mean, I really think it might.
It is.
In the States, I don't know. In the States, I think some people might associate like a Japanese name like that with maybe a lower quality product or something. It just, I don't know. It has that effect over here, I think, sometimes.
It just sounds like you're trying to do the Family Guy joke where you're pronouncing the hard H's. Huawei.
It's hard to pronounce, man. Like, dude, I don't
know. They need some good marketing behind it. They need some good marketing behind that name.
I don't know, man. Mandarin is so hard to speak. I remember having some friends in university, like I'd help them out with stuff in university, and they were just trying to teach me Chinese, and it just went through my head, man. Like I am literally trying to say the same thing like 20 times, and they're like, no, it's this way. I'm like, oh shit.
Dude, you know what? You know what, man? If they want to sell 1 million of these phones, they should have just brand the entire thing the Leica phone.
Yep.
They should just start selling these phones as the Leica phones. I'd buy one. I would buy one instantly if they sold a Leica phone. I'd be like, yeah, I like a phone, so I like a semi one, like a right now.
You like a semi?
like a please, like a come on.
Yeah.
Is this joke Leica over yet?
All right, let's move on. Next up. Vivaldi, a browser for our friends.
Yep. New browser. Well, yeah, kind of. It's basically like Chrome. It's like Chrome with problems, and not as many not as many plugins. It's got some really interesting design things built into it, but a lot of it is stuff that I have already added into Firefox myself with extensions. But they do have it built into it. I like some of the things they put in with their bookmarks bar. Check the link in the description if you really want to just take it for a test spin. I think it is worth taking for a test spin. It is a cool interface. You might actually find some things that you like on there. And a lot of the Chrome extensions and add-ons actually work on it. You just may have to do a couple of command lines to actually get them to work, but that's, it's fun. It's fun.
I got a confession to make.
What?
Uninstalled Firefox and reinstalled Edge.
Oh my god, this fucking guy.
Oh my god.
He went back to Edge, this fucking guy.
You filthy bastard. Why would you admit that?
I got a confession to make.
That's why he wants to get out of here. He doesn't even have anywhere to be.
He just wants to drop
These
that
are my
bomb and exit the
confessions. Just when I thought I said all I could say. You guys are talking about it. Yeah.
Anyway, so Vivaldi's a new browser. Anyway, give it a try. Yeah, it's a cool interface. I like the customization that they have right off the bat, being able to set like a dark interface and things. It actually has one of the nicest I think initial interfaces compared to any other browser I've used. If they were to make this more like Firefox, and have all Firefox support, I'd be all over it, man. I like the interface on it though. It's quite snazzy. So next up, this is a Reddit story. I gotta kind of center this one here so people can actually see it. All right, so this is about Quantum Break, which just came out, and it's seeming like a pretty damn good game. It's from the guys Remedy who worked on Alan Wake, which I loved. But the PC port, which launched on the Windows Store, is seemingly an absolute mess, just like Gears of War was, and that's not really surprising me at all.
Yeah, surprise! Who knew it was going to be a Windows 12 release or Windows 10 release and be a disaster? It's coming as a shock to absolutely no one.
Yeah. If you want to hear bad, so someone from one of the guys from PC Gamer, to quote his tweet, he said, "The Quantum Break PC port is giving me flashbacks to pre-patch Arkham Knight."
Wow.
Oh shit.
Damn. Wrecked.
Well, at least the when they cop a lot of slack,
Dude,
when they
it's
cop
like-
a lot of shit.
Like, have you ever seen that video of like the fake battle raps with like the black kids and they all fade away? They're like, oh, like that is how I feel right now. Where he just dropped the fucking beat on them. Like, this is pre-patch Arkham Knight. Boof.
Dropped the
It's like,
mic and walked away.
Walk off. It's like, oh my god. Like, that's like you play ball like a girl times a million. That's you play ball like a girl 2016.
That's like you uninstalled Firefox and reinstalled Edge.
There it is.
That's what it's
And then put
like.
on your Beats headphones.
Hey guys, install NoScript every fucking site I go to. Options. Why isn't this working? Oh, allow page. Go back to the page. Why do I have to fucking allow this page again for the 20th fucking time? Uninstall Firefox. Back on Edge.
You could have just got rid of NoScript, mate. You could have just got rid
Yeah,
of
but
NoScript.
here you are saying NoScript, man. I got NoScript. I got this, and then you give me some MP3 add-on where I can just go to favorite a site and I can just drop the link in there. What? Okay,
Oh man,
Oh,
I'm dead. Rest in peace, man.
oh.
I don't know. Anyway,
It's all gone off. It's all gone off. It's all gone off. the
Back on
rails.
Edge, bro. I'm back on Edge, brother, and I'm loving it.
Yeah, that's my experience usually using a Microsoft product. Is I feel like I'm on Edge.
And Microsoft, you guys can know exactly what time and day. You guys can know exactly what time and day I'm going to buy my Beats headphones. Oh,
The quantum disaster gets worse from there, man. They've actually got some pretty heinous. They got the heinous built-in Denuvo DRM that we all hate so much. It's got that shit built in there. And it's even catching like regular players when they're playing the game. It's sometimes kicking them offline. It's seeing them as not connected to the internet. So it'll either kick them off the game completely, or it'll. Some people have discovered that how they punish pirates is by putting an eye patch on you. Gives you a pirate's eye patch to identify you as a pirate. So some legitimate players who were disconnected while they were playing have had this happen to them. I don't know. Personally, if I had pirated the game and I got this eye patch for my character, I would be
fucking
happy
fun.
about
I'd
this.
love it.
I would.
Yeah, it
That's a
looks
win.
so
I would like
cool.
this is. I'm like this is. I'm sorry, but this is a reason to not buy the game right here. That is a DLC. That is a free DLC add-on.
that is
Like,
awesome. Like
That is
yeah.
a reason to not like if they crack this on Denuvo DRM. That's a reason to not buy this game, man.
Yeah.
I mean, the
I mean,
thing is,
I
right,
mean,
the thing is, right.
buy it, but then still install the pirated version, or crack your legitimate copy.
It should be the opposite. I mean,
Just so you can have the pirate eye patch. I just want
if
the eye
you-
patch.
I mean, if you don't pirate the game, you should get the eye patch, and it should be the other way around. If you pirate the game, you don't get the eye patch. I mean, look at the eye
Now you're
patch.
talking.
So
Looks really good.
we're not pirates here anyway at TGW. We're ninjas. So just
No,
to clarify that.
let's reward people for doing the wrong thing. I mean, what are these devs thinking? Anyway, so at least when they cop a lot of slack, the devs at the studio can say, "Well, guys, just give us a quantum break."
Oh my god, that was
Terrible. That was terrible. It's so bad that it's funny.
my god, that was like a quantum failure. God.
That's That was
God.
that was too bad.
So all right, so let's move on from that. Let's move on from
leap to the next topic right now.
Yeah, let's move on from that disaster of a pun. God, I hate how I have to keep repositioning in this chair. One day I'm actually gonna have a comfortable chair and be able to fucking sit in it comfortably.
I'm just gonna quantum jack off to this next article.
Yeah. So Bethesda finally Bethesda dropped a load. Official trailer for Wasteland Workshop, their second DLC. So now we finally know what that's going to be all about. This is going to help expand upon the base building and shit like that. So yeah, and traps. You'll be able to build traps, more traps for your base, which you'll probably need on the harder survival mode. Sorry, go ahead.
You can capture creatures and then pit them against each other, or pit them against raiders in like a Coliseum type battle, which I think I would have a good time with.
Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Get some of this action in there.
Personally, I'm waiting for all the DLCs to come out and then go on offer and be like, yeah, you can now get all of these DLCs that are worth like $40 for like $10 or $20, and then I'll be like, all right, I'll take that deal now. Because that'll eventually be a deal, and that's when I will buy all of them.
Yeah, I just needed a break from Fallout 4. I spent an awful lot of time with that game. I did not even get the Automatron update yet because I need a little break from Fallout 4 right now.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
We're gonna have to plow through some topics here. I gotta get going like 5 minutes. GG.
All right.
Well, let's go on. You were supposed to take away this AMD topic, man. So that's all you, brother.
Okay, so Bristol Ridge up to 50% compute improvement. Bang. Next topic.
No man, come on, go, dude. If we have to keep going after with just me and Bad Seed after you leave, that's
lightning
okay,
round.
Man. Go, just
go through them.
Well, so they've released the new APU, and like they're quoting a 50% gain in a Cinebench, which is good, right? I actually as much as people say like I'm sick of Cinebench, I've found Cinebench is a really freaking good benchmark to show that if developers program a CPU right for multi-threads, this is the performance it can get. And I really like that. So the fact that they're quoting that figure makes me kind of happy. So anyway, yeah, looking forward to this. It's brand new APU. It's going to have some good performance on the CPU end of things, and of course, it's going to support DirectX 12.
Yeah, well, we've talked about this in the past.
FreeSync support.
We talked about this in the past, where basically Intel has been dominating the notebook market. We haven't really seen too much from AMD on the CPU side of things. So it's nice to see that they are making a transition to that and putting their efforts into the notebook market, and basically some things we've talked about in the past.
Yeah, well, I kind of think this would be a good thing for them, and it looks pretty good. So there's not really too much to add, except when it hits the streets, then we'll see a full review of it.
And I'll be curious to see how many gaming notebooks come out that are gonna, if they're gaming notebooks that are gonna come out and actually take advantage of using this type of technology, as opposed to just regular consumer grade notebooks, if they actually go that route. Yeah. So next up, though, we have the Hotfix driver from Radeon for the Crimson driver for Quantum Break. Who's gonna take that? Was that you,
I think
Brian?
that one's me. Yeah. So yeah, up to a 35% increase on Quantum Break performance on Radeon R9 Fury, and as well as ushering in like Oculus Rift and Vive support both. That's the good news. It's also revolves.
AMD. I'm just giving you some background, just some BGM there.
It's also resolved some frame rate capping stuff, but the problem is that it quantum breaks a lot of other titles at the same time that it's fixing this. So you're going to get flickering in Hitman. You're going to get some fail to launch on some other titles if gaming evolves. So, it kind of fixes quantum break, but it also breaks there's 4 or 5 other games here. The Division is having some problems. Need for Speed, XCOM 2, all having some issues now.
It seems
Crossfire
like
is broken.
Too. It seems like Nvidia and AMD both have had their new drivers come out that were meant for VR, and they both have had issues. Radeon's having this issue, and there was even some report of some guy that said the drivers broke his graphics card. I was like, I don't know if that's actually true. Some guy's graphics card could have just died, and it could have been coincidentally at the timing that he had updated the driver, and he just said it was the driver. I don't know. I don't know the full details of the story, but some people were saying that it broke graphics cards. So
if the fan profiles, if they come out of whack, and they let the GPU overheat, then sure.
Yep.
Yeah, it could be. It could happen. I don't know the full details of the story to give it any merit or not, but that's what I heard some rumblings about that. So it seems like both sides had their VR ready drivers come out, and both sides are having issues actually.
Yeah, so it's kind of like a situation right now where if you're playing Quantum Break, go for it. If you're not, stay away from that driver right now for the time being.
And I don't know if it's any better on the Nvidia side, because I remember like when Gears of War came out, it was running better for the Nvidia side versus AMD because how they handled VSync differently. So I don't know if that's continuing here with Quantum Break or if they've ironed that out yet on the UWP side on Windows 10 and the Windows Store, because that's just there's so many different issues here coming from different directions with the Windows Store and DirectX 12 with a new API and a new game and new drivers. And it's a lot of new elements playing with each other at the same time.
Yeah, it's happening on both sides of the fence. I think there's just so much coming out right now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of new technologies all melting together at the same time. So hopefully, just not too much longer before they start to get that stuff ironed out. Our next topic is on Windows 10, continuing along actually, as looks like it's actually overtaken Windows 7 as the #1 OS for Steam users, which is. I don't know. I didn't think that would happen this quick, but I guess it makes sense since it is free and we're coming up to the anniversary where it's not going to be free anymore. So people are saying I got to get it so that I could play DirectX 12 games if any DirectX 12 games come out. So yeah.
Yeah, they finally forced everyone's hand enough to where enough people have shifted over. It's not just free. I feel like I've had a gun to my head for the past few months to upgrade.
Oh, I haven't had that issue, unfortunately.
It's not that, man. Like I've said in the past, it's just basically they're giving people on a hacked copy of Windows 7 the opportunity to get a legit copy of Windows 10. And that's exactly what you're saying. Like, this just confirms how many pirated people are using pirated Windows out there. This just confirms it, in my opinion.
I don't know anything about that. Nothing about that.
Well, I'm telling you now, I got a few friends in Oz, man. They're just telling me, like, look, dude, you can get Windows 7 upgraded for free. I'm like, well, I got no problems because I get free keys from my work, like unlimited keys.
I bought a legitimate disc
and
copy of Windows 8.
Do not freaking email me for a free key. Like, seriously, it's beyond. I'm not even going to reply.
You shouldn't even have brought that up now. You're definitely
no. Well, like I said, I'm just ignoring key. Like, hey, man, can I have I bet I really need a free key. No, I can't do it. I'll get fired.
I'm still not using Windows 10 because it still sucks assholes.
Yeah. I can concur. I have an 8.1 on my main system and a 10 on my media PC, and 10 still sucks balls. I can definitely still co-sign that statement. Yeah,
it's a pain in the ass. Like when you want to get drivers to install, like if Windows 10 wants to install like your initial NVIDIA drivers or your video drivers, you basically just have to let it happen. Otherwise, it's just going to keep conflicting with you trying to install it, and then it's going to uninstall what you did and try to install again. It's just going to keep messing up. So you basically have to let them do whatever the fuck they want, then turn off hardware driver updates, then update all your shit and uninstall everything that they did, and basically go from there and go about disabling and turning everything off through the PowerShell, which is what I had to do on Windows 10.
I'm actually going to play devil's advocate quickly before I go. Is that on the old school rigs, it's actually pretty good. Like, because I don't have any driver CDs or anything. Once Win 10 gets installed, it just updates all the drivers. Or even though some of them are out of date, it's still really good and saves me a lot of time because, you know, like my screen's in 4:3 on a 16:9 monitor, and then all of a sudden it pops into, you know, when it goes to Windows 10, it just even automatically installs the old drivers on the 2900 XT, for example, which has got some legacy drivers for a while now. So it's pretty good. It's not bad.
Yeah, so
like it's. I mean, for modern day, it's having a lot of problems. I mean, I've still got my icons freaking resetting on the desktop, and I don't want to install no aftermarket app. I just want to have my desktop saving the icons like it should. But anyway.
All right, so last thing I was going to bring up before we got out of here was this MSI Trashcan PC that came out. looks like a garbage bin, and charging $4,000 for. You guys can tell me if you think it's worth it for an i7 6700K, 32 gigs of RAM, 256 gigabyte SSD with a 1 terabyte mechanical, and two 980s in SLI for $4,000 inside a garbage can. So
they should. I wish they'd stop the garbage can thing. Like we have one at work. It's really not cool. Like it's like what
you can build this PC for less than $2,000.
I mean, they're gonna make it like a solid, just a cube or something. Like a really stylish cube, I think would do the job. But a trash can, it's like you're associating prestige with trash. just doesn't go anywhere for me. Like it doesn't do anything.
They're
You could build
following
this
the
PC
Mac
for less than
design.
$2,000.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I said they're following the Mac design on this thing, and nobody liked the design of the Mac in the first place. So following suit with this design aesthetic was a poor decision.
Yeah, they're basically combining Alienware and Mac aesthetic.
Ugh, both that makes my skin crawl.
And then they slap a dragon on it and be like, here you go, gaming. Oh, wait. Hang on. We got to make it red. There we go. And now it's gaming. And it better have a brushed aluminum interface on the BIOS or something, or I'm going to be very disappointed for $4,000. I better have brushed aluminum somewhere.
Absolutely.
The MSI Trashcan. Anyway, there we go.
Well, you guys can stay for Q&A. I got to get going though.
The MSI R2D2. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. Brian's got to get out of here. All right, man, go ahead and have a good day at work. We'll do a good 5-10 minutes, you guys, for Q&A. But
right, guys, thanks
I'll
for
see you
watching.
next week.
Yeah.
Remember, TGW next week is going to be late because I'm going to be in Seattle, so we're going to be doing it late in the week. But we'll talk a little more about that after you leave.
Yeah.
All
right, guys.
Later.
Thanks for watching the stream, y'all, and I'll peace out and catch you in the next one.
All right. Bye.
All right. See you, brother.
Right, see you, man.
All right. Bye. There we go. All right. So it's just me and Bad Seed now.
Just us.
Just so we're going to be getting out of here. But if you guys have any questions for us, we're going to do the Q&A with just me and Bad Seed. So go ahead and fire your questions into chat for us, and we will take your questions there.
And no, we don't have any free Windows keys.
No, we do not have any free Windows keys. But yeah, so back to what I was just saying before Brian left. Yeah, so next week, TGW, I'm going to be doing it from LAN Syndicate. So I'm not sure if it's going to be like Thursday or Friday, but it's going to be a day or two later, because I'm going to be traveling on Wednesday. So it's just I'm not going to be here to do it on Wednesday. So but we're still going to do TGW. We're not going to miss it. It's just not going to be at the same time. But
So are you
yeah.
going to try to dial in and do it live from Seattle while you're on location at the LAN?
Probably not at the LAN unless they give me permission to, but I doubt they will because the network is being used for gaming, for a LAN, and not for streaming. So probably going to have to do it from the hotel room, or from another offsite location, or unless maybe Logan has some way for me to do it from there in a back, I don't know, other area, I don't know.
Some secret bunker.
Yes, some secret tech bunker that I don't know about underneath the place, which is at an airport hangar, so there could be a bunker, I don't know.
All right. Question: is BadSeed going to do TGW every week? No, I am not. I'm invited on every so often.
Yeah, BadSeed is a friend of the channel, and he comes on every once in a while. Can I review the EXP GTC V.8? I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is. What mouse does BadSeed use? Well, currently I have no less than 4 gaming mice on my desks, but at the moment I'm using the Tech Syndicate Standard Issue as my daily driver.
Yeah, testing that. You said you have bigger mitts than me, so it seems like you like the size a bit more.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, he likes the size. He likes the size a bit more because the caster is on the smaller side, so it's not for everyone. There are some people that think the caster's too small. I thought the Tech Syndicate mouse was a little bit too big, but that's why some of that stuff comes down to subjectivity, you know.
Big time. So the chat's saying you cut my head off. Did you cut my head off, bro?
I cut your head off. Why did I do that?
I don't know. I'm guessing the window's goofy since Brian departed. Who knows?
Am I going to make performance review Quantum Break? No, I don't have it, and I probably won't play it until I can play it on something, like on my actual main PC, which probably won't be until I upgrade to a new motherboard and all that stuff, and actually have a reason to install Windows 10. Because I'm not going to do that on this PC. I love this PC too much. I'm not going to mess with it. So this PC, this motherboard combo will be Windows 8 now and forever, and that will never change.
Will we see cheaper cards with better performance than the GTX 970 R9 390 this year? I can't imagine why we would. The prices for those just continue to drop, and for what they are, dollar for performance, either one of those cards is a great way to go right now. I can't see anything coming out this year that's going to beat that in a price to performance right now.
They won't nothing cheaper, but there probably will be something that will dethrone it at that price point. Yes.
Yeah, at that price point, but I think we'll see the price of that will steadily decline. So
yeah,
anybody's
we'll see the
guess.
price of those. You probably see 970 starting to come down to like $200 and $250, which will be amazing for those used.
Yeah,
if those come down that much, it's nuts.
Absolutely. All right, what else we got? No more AMD talk.
Someone wants to know if we think Brian will allow us to look through his private email since he doesn't care if anyone looks through his private stuff.
I would.
The other Brian, who was
Yeah.
he was saying that we don't need encryption and stuff on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I don't have any desire to look through another man's emails, whether he has anything to hide or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Hillary Clinton could have done it with some encryption. That's all I'm going to say. She
Oh.
could have done with WhatsApp.
That's
It's her emails are not making her look too good right now. What do I think about the Logitech G502? I reviewed that, man. Go check out my review. I did a review earlier this year where I compared it with my Myonix caster. I did a good video with that.
I'm actually looking to get my hands on one just so I can kind of compare and contrast with some of the other big gaming mice. I'm just looking for I'm looking for the next setup that's going to take the Razer stuff off my desk. That's what I'm into right now.
Yeah. Would ever consider doing builds for viewers? Yeah, absolutely. If anyone wanted to, sponsor a build, like if someone wanted to pay for all the parts and everything like that, and pay for my time and labor. I've done builds for people before in the past, and I've always charged on the sliding scale. I usually charge 10% of the cost of the final build. That way, it's like if a guy's building a $500 build, it's a $50 job. If he's guy's building a $2,000 build, and he can afford a $200 payment for a job. So keep it on a sliding scale like that. The way it's fair for people. That's what I've done in the past when I've built PCs for clients and stuff. But I've never actually done one for a viewer yet, ever. It was a friend through my gaming clan that I did one for Jinx about a year ago. Did that whole build on the channel. That was fun. Let's see.
Will a new motherboard be necessary for NVLink on Pascal? We don't know yet. We know that it's going to have only certain CPUs will support it, but we don't know exactly how the NVLink is communicating between the GPUs. So it's a little too early to tell on that, I think.
Yeah.
All right. So we got.
Not seeing too many more questions. Will a new motherboard be necessary for NVLink and Pascal?
Yeah, that's the one I just went with.
No, oh, okay.
What do you think of Doom supporting async? Don't know.
Don't know, man. I'm gonna have to wait and see how it actually performs. I mean, if on my 980 Ti it performed okay, but I won't know until the game actually comes out and we see what the final release is like, because like we saw information about it being like 144 hertz, but like the beta was all capped at 60. So, I don't even know. I don't know what the final version of that game's going to be like on that engine. It's a new engine. There's a lot of unknowns there, and that engine has had a lot of issues in the past with SLI, not supporting SLI. So, NVLink could actually be a good way to have multi-GPU support on a game like that, since it seemingly would never support SLI because it's OpenGL.
Drake Owens, what is my rig? I'm on a EVGA Z170 classified Skylake 6700, 32 gig DDR4, and dual 980 Ti's. And way too much money in SSD hard drives, if we're being honest.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get on out of here though. Winding the show, we've gone over 2 hours. Well, almost hour and a half. But yeah, long show. Got to get out of here though. Getting pretty late. So thank you for your questions though. Thank you BadSeed for joining us. Be sure to check out his channel info down below and all that.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no problem, man. It's good having you anytime. Yeah, and next week I will be doing the show from Seattle, which is going to be a lot of fun. Definitely, I think that should be good times.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, thank you once again for watching episode 44, the 44 caliber killer episode. So catch you guys next time. Ta 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 ta.
See you guys.